Glad to be back on Rapid on this beautiful Tuesday morning. And of course, yes, this is Rapid Television. Earlier on, Victor Ejema was there to give you the passionate, sports analysis. My name is Victor. Okay.
And my name is Martha Alu. Good morning to you. It's been an amazing morning so far. We have had diverse conversations right here on TV. And when I say we help you start your day smarter and a lot better, this is what we mean by keeping you updated, informed, and carry along with happenings in and around Nigeria. And of course, this is the 9 o'clock hour, and we basically would have the big conversations here on TV today. Now, the conversation we're having today, I've come to work many times and I'm like, why are people behaving like this? Why are people behaving as though they are not human beings? They're not civilized human beings. Let me not just let out the steam until we start off the conversation. But yeah, the commemoration of this day is on the 19th, which is tomorrow. But we're early birds. We take it on from here first before you hear anywhere else.
Definitely. And of course, today the world marks the World Toilet Day, which of course is tomorrow. And what we're going to do today is to turn our attention basically to the situation going on there in the world regarding the World Toilet Day. It's one of the biggest challenges we face is the situation of sanitation, which of course is one of the most overlooked global crisis. But according to the United Nations, 3.4 billion people still lack safely managed sanitation, while 354 million continue to practice open defecation. Here in Nigeria, the challenge is even more urgent. We hear that around 95 million Nigerians still do not have basic sanitation, and 48 million people, including millions of children, rely on open defecation. Poor sanitation contaminates our water sources, worsens disease outbreaks, and of course is now being intensified by climate-related flooding and environmental degradation. To help us understand the environmental, health, and community impact dimensions of these crises, we are joined by Khadijat S.M. Anaku from the Empress Community Aid and Support Organization, an organization deeply involved in community-level sanitation, hygiene advocacy, and sustainable environmental practices. Good morning to you, Mama, and welcome to the conversation.
Thank you for having me.
Good morning. It's good to have you join us.
Thank you, Maria.
Thank you.
All right.
Now, tomorrow is World Toilet Day.
Yes.
But let's first understand why do we celebrate the World Toilet Day, and of course, why is it important to be celebrated as it is?
As human, we all use the toilet.
That's right.
We all use the toilet too.
But people who don't use the toilet, some of them are already in the hospital trying to get help. But that's one major thing that we all have to experience as long as we are alive and we are still breathing.
Yeah.
The reason why we celebrate World Toilet Day, the reason why the United Nations find it worthy that we should celebrate it. There are certain things that are really important to us that we really don't put more attention to, which is toilet, for instance, which is sanitation, for instance. People really don't talk about what people actually go through who don't have access to toilet, most especially even with persons living with disability. And there are so many things surrounding the issues of sanitation, wash, which include wash, sanitation and hygiene. And the toilet, for instance, when I was still in the university back then, some of us used the latrine.
Yeah.
The latrine, the one, that old days latrine. And we use it those days. I never really understand that heat that comes from it. And during all the days, we go back home and we start treating toilet infection and all that. I think it took me a while to understand why I was actually getting that toilet infection. So I had to switch to using pool, like a baby. And so, school now, how you do, you just use pool in the night, you just look for one corner.
Sure, it's
and show it. So as I grew up, I understand that while I was trying to protect myself, I was at the same time causing harm to other people. And so I started wondering why is it so difficult for us to have toilet, proper toilet, that has this proper hygiene. It's not that bad for you to find a. Sometimes we look for hotels and the first thing we check, let me check the toilet. Not because we don't enjoy. People always think good toilets are luxury. No, they are not luxury. They are necessity. These are rights for us to have clean toilet. So the United Nations find it very important that we need to start created that awareness, you know, for people to have access to clean toilet, not just clean toilet, access. You might see some clean toilet, but infrastructure, you know, for that. Then you go to some secondary school. Recently, I went to a school. They have water, but they only have one toilet. And
for the entire school.
And they never even had the toilet. It was the Parents Teacher Association that contributed money to provide toilet for the school. Is a government school in Abuja for the school. So imagine a school of the number of teachers in that school and the number of students using one toilet, both male and female. You can see the need why this day has to be celebrated, you know, to draw the government's attention, to draw key stakeholders' attention that it's very important. We put more priority to issues that has to do with our health.
That's right.
Okay. When, you know, when we talk about this toilet matter, many times we as Nigerians are quick to say it's the government. But I promise you, a Nigerian man particularly, I'm not discriminating.
Landlords especially.
Nigerian man.
Man as a the gender man.
Man, gender man. Nigerian man will see a toilet and will rather stand on the road to pee. I have never understood this concept. Unsolicited penises outside is very unfortunate. Do you know that I was in a car coming home, going back home one day. This guy was literally on his phone and he was peeing on the road. On his phone, he was pressing his phone while he was peeing on the road. Like, how comfortable can you be? Is this your bathroom? Like, and I'm not saying a road that is hidden. Maybe there is a close somewhere, nobody can see him. Or in between, you know, this caveats, or how they call it.
Yes.
In between that, a grown-up man stood there and was easing himself. Do you think it's a government problem or is a we problem?
You are even talking about somebody pee. Last week, it's not far from here. Treasury House now, by OTBN Junction. You know, behind their fence on that express. So I was going for field work, and my friend was supposed to pick me at that point. While I was going, the pathway that we have to pass, as in the pathway that I have to pass to where my friend will pick me up. A grown man, just like you just said, it's not like this. I mean, I don't really think this is a gender thing.
It's not a gender thing,
because women do it. Women do it.
Of course they do.
I just saw the grown man, like I think he was going to walk. In between, just went like, this is where I was passing. This is where the man was, and it was just like, this one is not pure.
Number two.
Number two.
Number two.
I just paused, like I was just like, God.
What is going on?
so I just stood up, and when he finished, so I just walked. I said, sir. I spoke to him. I said, how bad now? I said, sir, this is like you just did. It's not
you
nice
even
now.
waited for him?
Yes, I waited now. You know, sometimes you just wait and tell people, like, so I just say, you know what is responsible? I just say, but this is bad now. Like, you know, we passed through this place. And you just like, you know, the question he asked me, that he was really pressed and there was no toilet around.
Madam, okay. Now you have put me in a very tight position.
So that was what he said.
Yeah.
He said he was really pressed and there was no toilet around. So that the fastest way he could go was that, and seeing that it was close to the bush and behind that place, and that was it, that he saw it.
Right.
So I not said no problem.
So if there was an alternative, probably
so
she
I
would
not
have
told
used
exactly.
it.
So I not told me, okay, did you cover like kind of like cover? He not said no. So I not said just look for how you, so that some of us don't see, because it's still early night. It was just after 7 in the morning. So he now said, so should I blame him?
You won't? Would you do that? No, before we go on to talking about whether you will blame them, will you do that?
No, I wouldn't do that.
Would you do that?
I wouldn't do that.
I wouldn't.
But again, he had his reasons, just like you said.
You're always going to have a reason to defecate outside.
So look at it from a gross perspective, not to even make an excuse for them.
Exactly.
You know, when we started, we talked about the fact that open defecation has also become a thing in this part of the world. If you get down to Lagos State, there's a part around the Lukuju axis that I walked through. That area also has the ray track. You know, in those ray tracks, it will shock you to. In fact, I just respected myself. I just had to stop following that particular route, because every time you pass there, you see something fresh there.
Honestly,
you know.
don't make this conversation harder than it already is.
And it's crazy. Now, not to play the blame game, you know. And there are rarely public toilets, you know, in certain areas in our country. people move on daily basis and they have this stomach upset and they want to quickly help themselves. But many persons do not have the alternative to do that. In that case, what do you do?
That's it. You know, me, I always say people, if I'm going out, two places I always run to when I want to use the toilet. I either look for, because there's no way you don't get an hospital around you.
Yes.
So I always look for an hospital or a hotel. So what I do, I just walk up to that place. And the first time I did that with my mom, may I so rest in peace. So we went somewhere in Benin. So she was really pressed, like she was really pressed. She was not looking for. I said, Mom, you know, you can't pee outside. She said, I want to pee. I said, no. She then said, what do I do? So I just looked for one hotel. I said, let's go inside. She was like, no, that won't they embarrass. I said, no. So we walked inside. I just told the receptionist that my mom wants to use the toilet. She said, it's fine. So my mom used and I came and said, so you can just walk into any restroom. So, you know, I told her, she said, wow, that she never knew. And she could have actually pee on the road, though, to be honest with me. She had just look for one vehicle and, you know, covered. So I, you know, most people really don't know some of these things. You know, it's just like, just walk into that place. That's what I do. I just said, please, I'm really pressed. Can I use your restroom? The thing is, when people give you opportunity to use the restroom, always ensure you flush
Properly
and clean the place, because that's another thing. You go into some toilet and you'll be like, you see an adult coming out from that place, like he gone outdoor to mix the toilet, and then you see some people do toilet. I've been to a place when I was traveling one time. We stopped at a place to use the toilet. You see the way they built that toilet, and it's like this. And for someone like me that is not tall, so do I need a ladder?
You need a staircase.
So you know, sometimes we are really pressed. I think in Abuja recently, like if you go to some areas, okay, the other day in area 1, I saw on the left-hand side, before the roundabout, on the left-hand side they have a toilet. Then on the right-hand side they have a toilet there. But one issue I had with one of the toilet was it wasn't accessible to persons with disability. So I don't know if they corrected that now. You know, sometimes we need to put some of these, like if you go to Utako, for instance, now I'm always in that area. I don't think, okay, we have one near the Utako village side, but the other side you hardly get a public toilet. So my problem, my worry now is, okay, if we not advocate for us to have more toilets, like we have, like in markets these days, you have more toilet, mini toilet being built in Wuse Market, Gariki and all that. So if we not have more toilet in strategic, like this area, and I don't think there's a mobile toilet around here. Okay, so if we not have a mobile toilet around, how do we not maintain it that the smell don't affect?
That's the major problem.
That's the major. So the problem most times is not even about us having a toilet. It's about us having the maintenance. Okay, when I was coming on this road, this Lagos Street road, you know that drainage has been like that for as long as I can remember. I was passing that, I said, God. So I was coming here to talk about toilet, and then I'm seeing me passing through. So that's the major problem. The problem is, how do we maintain? Do we have that maintenance culture to ensure these toilets are properly maintained, even when we have access to more toilet? And are we going to ensure that we also make provisions for, because anything they do in Nigeria, they hardly put people with disability into consideration. So are you going to do the kind of toilets that people will have easily access to, you know, to just use the toilet? And are we going to mandate one person and say, because even some of these toilets that you pay for, they don't clean it well. So I really don't know what they do with the money. You pay 15 naira just to pay, you know, pay use, and you come back the following day, you see that the toilet is.
But that's not. Sometimes it's not about the people that manage it. It's about the people that use it. Have you seen how Nigerians handle public facilities? See, I still hold people manage it responsibly, because there's somebody there that notice somebody is entry there. As the person is coming out, you follow the person. That's called monitoring. You follow the person and check. If you just say wait. Because we need to be responsible for our action. You follow the person, you say wait and check. The person, you tell the person to go back. I've done that before. I wanted to use a public toilet, and I noticed it was, and I saw the lady use it. She was just washing her hands. I just told her that I should please go and clean it, that I want to use it. She was like, I said, She was not like, I said, because you were the one that just left the place, so you don't expect the cleaner to come and start cleaning. Even if definitely she's going to clean it, but at least let's be respectful when we use public properties.
Now, let's talk about some of the health, challenges. Anyways, what happens, to when people don't have? I mean, talking about health, what happens to the health of the people when they don't have access to toilet?
sure I mentioned toilet infection. That's one of the major, because people always think, you know, I've seen a case where somebody was treating gonorrhea. I actually thought it was from sexual transmitted disease. It was after a series of tests that we had to discover it was from toilet infection. So it's like it has grown to that point where that person had, you know, most times some of these sexual transmitted, they will always think it's from sex and all that. Some this can be from toilet infection. Okay, for children, for example, I remember when we did the cholera outbreak campaign with another organization that I volunteered, we discovered that, I think I was part of that project in the community, and when we got to that community, where they, as in, some of them staying in these bacha houses. So imagine someone living in these bacha houses, and there's a dish just about a few kilometers from the house. In that dish, that's where they throw drums. That's where their toilet, as in they just go there, they pee. And there's a stream close by.
They also take water
that's
from there.
where they take water from.
Drinking, bathing.
That's where everything. So you can imagine the effect on their head. You know, sometimes even when I went to that community and I discovered there was a stream beside, so I asked them, I said, is this where people drink water from? They say yes. I said, that's where they drink water from. That's where they take their bath from. I was like, so in my mind I was like, why didn't you people just clear this place? You say even if they clear it, these babambolas or these people that park there still come back at night dump dirt there. So I think that time we even reported I don't know if we reported, I can't remember if we reported the issue to Abuja Environmental Protection, but I can't really remember again. But I think we were really concerned that I think that issue should be reported to Abuja so that they will find how to come pack dirt. Even they were ready to even organize it. Because sometimes you go to the hospital and you're treating one particular thing and you don't actually know what you're treating. It's from the water they drink from those places, and you pull here, the same way you're praying, the same way you're taking water for. I mean, it's a whole lot. That's why you see people keep treating sickness, and you don't know tomorrow there's cholera outbreak, tomorrow even when the COVID came, when we were practicing the hand washing and all that, how many of them could actually afford to do those things, because they breathe and live in those places. Some of us can actually afford clean environment, but people in the community that I work with, can they really afford those things? Even they themselves sometimes, you know, it takes a lot of time to just to educate and sensitize them, because even them, they are so comfortable in that place that they don't see anything bad or anything wrong with how they live. They'll be like, after all, my grandparents lived there, nothing happened to them, they lived till old age. You know, they don't actually see the health hazard that leads to some of these environments which they live in.
Okay, I know that certain governments, even in Nigeria, has spent a lot of money on the WASH program. That's water, sanitation and hygiene program. I know that while I understand that some of these programs have not gotten into some rural communities where these people will have access to water, you know, sanitation materials, you know, soap, detergent, all of those things that can help them keep their environment clean. Since you are actively involved in this, actively in the field where you have seen what the implication of this is, what interventions do you think that the government should or can introduce to ensure that we improve better hygiene? Because much more than we know, this open defecation thing, this lack of toilet has cost us more than we can imagine. In fact, statistics I'm looking at here says that Nigeria, we lose about 445 billion naira annually, and particularly to expertise, because of poor sanitation we have here in Nigeria. How do you think that the government can address this?
I think, to be fair to the government, I think they are doing their bit. I'm not going to lie. And coupled with several civil society organizations who I know, you know, most times some of this community, you know, like they say, one shoe size does not fit all. That's how they see. You know, sometimes some of this community that you really want to help. I've seen a situation where I think some of us have heard that story, when there was this particular community that they didn't have access to clean water, and this community decided, this organization decided to okay, let's give them access to water. So they gave them clean water, and they came back for monitoring a few months after. They discovered that they destroyed the water. So the problem wasn't really the government. So the problem wasn't community, their problem was not really water. So the major problem they were having, because the parents of these children wanted time for themselves. So the only way they can have time for them is to
send them to the street.
to fetch water. So in that kind of situation, you've done your best by giving them water. But why some actually need? There's a friend of mine that their foundation recently. There's a community. I've never been to that community before in FCT. So she was going for inspection, and she told me they were doing a water project for that community, that they don't have access to water. So I just joined her. So we went to that community. I was like, I never knew we have Reef Village in this FCT. You know, you just see Kabusa Village, Galadima, all those. So this one is Reef Village. So the community don't have access to. If I show you, I think I posted it on my status. If you see the water they drink in that community, oh my God! When I posted it there, my DM almost caught. People were like, people actually drink this water. Right. So, but that community, what they wanted to do, it wasn't. They wanted to do water project for a community. So they went to the community head and said, okay, do you know any village under you that need access to water? So that's the first thing you do, assessment.
Yeah.
So they said yes, they need there's a particular community that they don't have water. So that was how they got to know about that community. So they've given their water, and by next month we'll be launching it. You know, there are some people that actually have water. Like there's a particular school that we work with. They have access to water, but there was no tank for them to store water. So when they told us, to my organization, what we did was to provide them with 2 tanks of water, 40 liters. So now they have, I think, 4,000 liters each, so 2,000. So now they have access to water. So even when there's no water to flush the toilet, you know. And what they did was that this is school. What they did was they had to station somebody.
Okay.
That every month, you know, we just give the person money to be cleaning the toilet. So now they have access. So everything don't have to be the government.
Exactly.
You know, we as civil society organization, we as individuals can actually, this borrow that was, we just group of individuals that came together and say, let's do this for this community. And the community is happy. Now they have water. They have the solar power to be pumping the water. So they don't have any to worry about. So now they have water. So instead of them to start going to the bush, because even when we were going to the stream that day, you know, you just be passing by the bush, and you just be, you know me, that I always wear long clothes. I was holding my clothes, so I don't use them, I don't step on something, you know. So now they have access to. So government, I think for FCT, when it comes to Abuja, like Abuja, you know, you go to some places where you see some of these things. So they are trying. Then for the community-based level, I think the community leaders also need to put in more effort. You know, most times then people actually do some of this, but the communities go back to destroy this facility.
And these are challenges.
Major challenges.
Do you understand? So most times they actually go into this community. So what we do, we involve them in the construction of those toilets. We involve them. Then we give them ownership of the project. So this is your own, because you have to ensure you keep it clean, you keep it safe and all that, because whatever, when it's destroyed, me, I won't go to that village and use their toilet.
Nope.
You know, my children will not go there and use that. None of my friends. So this is for your community. So we always make sure to register it to them that this is your property. You need to own it and protect it as if your life depends on it.
You know, this brings me to, you know, something I think I always say people problem most times. Again, not to play the blame game. Now, there was a particular community, you know, that a project was ongoing. I think it was both road project and a school project, you know. But the members of the community, you know, didn't want that project to happen because, according to them, the persons that were bringing that project to the community have not settled them for the project that is coming on board. Now you get the concept. They are trying to bring development to you as a community, but you're asking for a settlement before that development comes into the community. And that's also from the stories you've shared. You know, certain individuals are also trying to bring good sanitation into a particular community. But members of the community, not just members of the community, the elites in the community are also fighting against those projects from seeing the light of the day. So beyond the orientation, beyond wanting to involve them, you know, in the whole project, what can be done to ensure that when these projects come on board, they get to understand that this project is coming first for the safety of your community, the children in the community, the women in the community, the young people in the community, you know, and not just a project for a show of facilities. You know, what can be done to properly sensitize the elite and of course members of the community?
You know, I think what can, like me, like this, most time the strategy that I always use is, you know, people always listen to their traditional rulers.
Absolutely.
People always listen to their religious leader. So what we've adopted is that this traditional, when they are in churches or mosques, always use it as part of preaching.
Okay.
You need to play into their conscience. Some people don't have conscience. Let's be honest with ourselves. Some people don't have conscience. But there are some people that you can actually play to their conscience. There are some people that you can actually, people like responsibility. Yeah. That's just the truth. When you say, okay, you are responsible, okay, this phone, I'm giving it to you.
Take care of
it, like as if your life depends on it, because a lot of people will depend on that thing. Because first of all, we are first human.
Yeah.
Before any other thing. Make them understand this is yours. This is yours. It's for your own good. Always make them understand that fact first. Then always plead to their conscience. You know, sometimes people, some of these community people, sometimes they have this entitlement mentality. Yeah. That, okay, yes, it's our entitlement, it's our right to have some of this. So you also make them understand that, in as much as, yes, some of these things are your entitlement, are your right. People are going out of their way to do some of these things just for you to have that comfort and all that. So it's also your responsibility, because it might not just be a toilet project.
Yes.
That community might benefit from some of these organizations. It might actually be access to good road, access to good infrastructure and all that when it comes to education aspect. You know, so it might not just, but you always make them, first of all, that's why in civil society organization, before you, first of all, do your assessment.
Okay.
Have meetings with them, all the key stakeholders, the youth, the woman leader, parents, everybody. Always carry them along. There's no way you carry these people along that you see one person that will be like, no, I support what you put. There's no one person that will want to say anything going that will not protect. Like that, my friend, that when they did that, I just told one of the guys that is in charge, I said, please, you people should manage this project very well. I say, because you can see the distance we drove to get to this community. Yeah. I never knew this community existed. Most people don't even know this community exists. So for this organization to have located this community and do this laudable project, please manage it. The guy now said, no problem, that him is a security person in the place. He will ensure the project, nobody tampers. You might make someone that discover that they're stealing the ball machine. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So we just need to carry them along and make them, and also monitoring. You know,
don't just do the project and leave it.
Like every three months you go, if there's anything you need to repair, you fix it. You know, have meetings with them. You know, what has been the impact since this toilet was being constructed. You know, as in follow up with them for like, the problem, we don't always do monitoring. We just build and leave, and that is it. So even when they destroy it, you are not there to even see what happens. So by the time you go and you see that there's something wrong, you know, you have meetings with them, have conversation with them. You know, you just do the way we do with family meetings. You know, hold meetings with them, create time. At even if it's every three months for the next 5 years.
For maintenance purposes.
For maintenance purpose, you see that even themselves, we won't be calling you to come and see you. We've done this.
Come and do another one.
Do you understand?
And of course, we're still talking with Khadijat SM Anaku. And of course, we've been talking about sanitation here in Nigeria. But let's go on a quick break and we'll come back. We'll continue with the conversation. Please do not get anywhere.
This is Rapid Broadcasting Network, RBN. We connect people, power stories, and amplify voices. On Rapid TV, we're rooted in culture and your window to the stories that matter. From news to lifestyle, we inform, entertain, and uplift. Join Rapid TV on StarTimes Channel 176, Nightcom Sat. On Rapid FM, we speak your language, from the soulful airwaves of Umuahia to the vibrant culture of Port Harcourt and beyond. More than broadcasters, we're creators, amplifying that voice within with powerful content across TV, radio, and digital. Join us at rbnradiotv.com and all our social media handles. One network, one voice. Rapid Broadcasting Network, RBN, the sound of your city. Rooted in truth, driven by impact.
Are you missing out on interviews Music, entertainment, thought-provoking discussions, and more? Don't sweat it, man. We've got you covered. No matter where you are, be part of the action 24/7, online and live. Caesar Radio.
On Facebook, it's Rapid FM Umahia. On Instagram, it's official Rapid FM. And on X, it is Rapid FM 965. Tune in to Rapid 96.5 FM or listen to us live on our website at www.rapidfm965.com or radiogarden.com. Better yet, get our mobile app from the Google Play Store. Catch the pulse of the Southeast on Rapid 96.5 FM, the sound of your city.
Hey, Oyanam, all Caesar Radio.
Welcome back. You're still watching Rapid Down right here on Rapid Television. Of course, we've been talking about the World Toilet Day, which is going to be celebrated tomorrow. But just like Martha said, we are a day early just to make sure that you're properly informed. And here, I think we're going to be setting up a police after now to make sure that your your personal hygiene, you take it up very seriously. Every information that we're giving you here is because we care about you and we want you to take it as serious as possible.
We want you to do the right thing. Do the right thing. Do it. Because do the right thing. Because when you are pampering people, it's so annoying. Do you know sometimes you just pass somewhere and you can't breathe?
Honestly.
You literally cannot breathe.
Because of the stench,
And
the smell of the area.
True. And you know why I know that these people know what they're doing? They will go to environments that force them to abide by this law, and they keep it.
Right.
They keep it. But once they leave where they are, they come here. It's more like they wiped out every remembrance of decorum from them. They come back because our environment supports this kind of attitude. You see, I was listening to a friend one time where he was talking about Dubai. They put the pedestrian bridge in Dubai, and if you mistakenly cross the main road, how we do in Nigeria, they will arrest you and take you to the psychiatric ward. Because because there is a flyover there for you to pass through. Do you know how many people die on the Kubwa Express on a daily basis because they're trying to cross over the road?
Fast.
And the cars, that's a highway. So if you don't, according to them, if you don't prioritize your life, we will help you. Because if you are okay, you can't cross a road that you see can cause your death almost in minutes or in seconds. You see, there are very, very strict rules. Drastic situations call for drastic measures.
Definitely.
Let me ask the experts now.
Okay.
What drastic measures do you think we have to take? Because I think that some people have tried by pasting inscriptions on the wall, do not urinate here, fine 10,000, fine 20,000 naira. And you see the very place they put that, people still go there and ease themselves. It doesn't make any sense. What measures, while we are waiting for the government to set up more public toilets, while we are waiting for civil society organizations to be able to address this matter, what do you think that the enforcement authority we have here can hold these people accountable? How do you think they can hold them accountable before we wait for the bigger transformation in this sector?
You know, we have Abuja Environmental Protection Board that normally you see them arresting some of these hawkers. You know, I've always wondered why they don't do the same to people like this. You know, if you go to the road, I think there's these people now that wear red. I don't know.
Their uniforms are too many.
It's not that they wear red, they stop all these delivery guys. So if you can have people who will stop a delivering guy that is trying to deliver a goods, I think we can also have people like that stationed in some of these places. Even in Wuse Market, we were in Wuse Market 2 weeks ago. At Wuse Market, they have I think they have almost 4 or 5 toilets in that place. But you still see this particular part, that back where you have those banks there. Oh my God. If you pass that place, you have to look, is that you use your veil if you are a Muslim to cover your nose, or you just do like this and pass. That's a place where they have toilet, but people still be behind people's cars and all that. So if every market can have a police for stuffs like this, and they just station, they just cash it. No, even
2 days vacation.
No, even magistrate court. Me personally, you just carry the person weekend, do 2 weeks for
2 weeks, Abi.
Community service.
Kuje prison further. You come out, you do.
You will clear grass.
You clean the whole of that place. You carry water, broom, and brush.
Yes.
By the time you come out, you've been an advocate. You just make the person an advocate.
Ambassador, automatic ambassador.
Do you understand? So I think the more effort AEPB is putting on arresting hawkers, I think they should put more effort into this as well, and ensure things like this don't happen, regardless of who you are. Whether you are peeing behind your tire, most drivers they just come down and pee in their tire. Whether it's your tire, wherever, even if it's front of your house, just carry the person. The way they carry all these people with mental health issues on it. I think that's something we should start doing. Just see anybody. Once you see the person, just carry. Before the person asks you, say, "Oga, wetin I do, wetin I do," you go and explain. First do evaluation. You remember in Calabar those days, if you throw any dirt on the floor, you first of all they'll take you to psychiatrist. I don't know if they still do that anyway. If you try it, as a friend was arrested for 2 weeks, they'll first of all go to the psychiatrist because they think it's not normal
for you to just
choose. So I think it's not normal for you to just go to one corner and just say you want to do number 2, not even number 1, just do number 2. Then you will not leave it open. Do you understand? Like, so people don't even have the conscience. Okay, let me just look for her. They'll just leave it open. So I think we need strict measures. You know the ways in Nigeria. They never use force.
They work.
They work. So we always like to push to the point where they use force, which is not good, because government will talk. So I just wish AEP, because I think that's
the major
organization that can actually do, just like they put, you see their boys carrying all these guys to the bike. The way they do, they can actually just put people in strategic location where they know people always do this thing. Just once you just see the person, just carry, put inside motor and go. Not until we start that. People, I just said it when we were offline in Benin like this, because I'm from Edo State. You just see somebody who just write on the wall, "If I pee here, I die."
it has
so you now, if you see that message now, "If I pee here, that will you go there and pee?"
But people still do that.
People don't.
When they say danger here,
danger. When they say
people are still crossing.
They'll still cross.
But what we talk about enforcement as well, I like for us to drop a balance. I know that the government is doing quite a lot of stuff as well to ensure that there's an alternative here. And then we also have civil society organizations that are also doing a few, to also ensure that there is alternative. NGOs doing the same thing. But do we have enough alternative, on the roadside there, in the market, in public places, to ensure that when people are pressed, they have good alternative, that they can maybe low cost public toilet that can be there beyond 2, beyond 3, many more that can be there, for people to actually use as an alternative.
We really don't have enough alternative. I think for FCT we have quite like to some 30%, but for other states we don't have. That's just the truth. So I just think we need to have a lot of other alternative, and also, like I always say, when we are making provision for this alternative, let's also make provision for persons with disability, because sometimes we make provision for those alternatives without putting them into consideration. So I think government should also put more effort, the civil society organization should also put more, and also when people are building, like you go to some mall, they don't have toilets. You go to some mall, people, they don't have toilets. So I think those in charge of this, like FCDA and all, to also ensure when people are building, let's have, like in Abuja, that we don't have bus stop. We don't have bus stops. So even when it's ready, you don't have a place to hide. So I think these are the things, the architecture of some of these things should also put these things into consideration. Don't say if you are leaving your house, you must use the toilet. You never can tell whatever happens on the road. So those are part of, and some of these chances, some of these people where you have this basha that really don't have these toilets. So what is the government doing? Yeah, those are temporary, but do they have access to toilet? No. So I think the government needs to put a lot of, the civil society, we can only do our best.
Truly.
Locally advocate, talk, but at the end of the day, the government play a longer role when it comes to some of this implementation. Because we need to put strict rules. Government need to do their own part. Yes, we cannot leave everything for the government. No, we cannot say government. Because you and I, we have a role to play. Like right now, you are using your voice, to raise the awareness that this is what is bad and what is good is good. You're already at a major key stakeholder in the media space, already amplifying your voice, and raising awareness and all that. Just like what some of these civil society organizations, like Water Aid, for example, they are doing a lot when it comes to wash. They are really self and all that. So they are doing a lot or even us impress, we are trying to do. So, the government too needs to work. I'm even happy, these days you have, before then, government used to see civil society organization as troublemakers.
Because they hold them
accountable. So now,
many of them used to be very troublesome
exactly.
too.
So now they are beginning to understand that we are not just troublemakers. Like, these are facts. It's our right to have clean toilets. Like, it's really our right to have clean toilets, because we use toilets. And
every day
the world is changing, technology is evolving. So are we moving you can, if you check the thing for this so the world is evolving. So what if we are still thinking about those days of latrine in this
current
there's still a problem. When you watch a movie now, you see how the toilet system is and all that. Because some country government actually, even some of the mobile, you mentioned Dubai just now. Have you not seen that mobile toilet?
Yes.
Can you compare it to the one we have, even one we rent during events?
Those plastic
that one that even people like us that
can
enter. So you can imagine people that
fatter person.
Do you understand? So sometimes we just do things without putting people into consideration. So the government need a lot of work to do, and also when it comes to building a country, they need to be monitoring it to ensure it meets standards. Sometimes they just build toilet and one small wind,
it's gone.
Also, I just to add to what you have said, I think that there should be regulatory bodies to check these things. The FIRS come to buildings from time to time to check if you are compliant with the fire extinguishing rules, to know if you are up to date, if your extinguisher is not expired. I didn't know that thing expires. It actually does expire. So if they come to check these things, they can also come check toilet facilities in buildings. Do you know that you don't know how comfortable you'll be when you get to your workplace and realize that there's a proper bathroom for you to use? Because many times there's a reason it's called convenience.
Of course.
There's a reason it's called convenience.
True.
Just so when someone is pressed, you don't have to start thinking about how to go home. It reduces your productivity level significantly if you don't have where you can ease yourself while you are working or something of that sort. So I think that the government should also set up regulatory bodies. The ones we have on the street, the touts are getting too much on the street. You see them with orange, there's green, there's red uniforms.
Black.
Give them actual jobs to do. Because these people, there's road safety, there's VIO. Even though I think road safety and VIO, both of them are doing each other's job. You would still see some of these tasks, FCTA task force, also doing the same work, checking your cars and all of that. And it doesn't make sense. Repurpose these people. Take them out of the street and give them order. They should check compliance with organization. And I also buy into the idea of you said something about how did I miss that line of thought? But you said they must be able to meet up with compliance. AEP, BB. You see, they should be able to enforce compliance on certain things. It's not on certain areas that is going to fetch the government money. It should be everywhere, because if you have a healthy people, you have the quality of your nation increases automatically. Production increases automatically. So let me ask you another question. Now, in an instance where we see the government also trying to set up these public facilities or these public toilets, because I know that civil society organizations will come out tomorrow to converse for that. Let's have more public toilets in public places. Maintenance culture is one thing I found is a problem in this part of the world also, where you have these facilities already. Taking care of the facility is such a big problem, right? How do we imbibe this culture in Nigerians? I know that the NOA, they have a lot of jobs to do, but I don't see them doing so much of these jobs. What other associations do you think can be held responsible for sensitization of Nigerians, to ensure that we uphold the maintenance culture that is long gone?
This is why we have the media.
It's not only us. It's all you guys. It's not only the media. You
just mentioned National Retention Agency, which is their major responsibility to do this. I think I don't know. I really don't know. Most times there are so many informations that you want to hear. Social media has even helped us a lot when it comes to information these days. Social media has helped us. I think that's where we are gravitating to, because if we just say National Retention, they'll tell you that they are trying, they do this, but sometimes you hardly hear some of these awareness and advocacy campaigns. Some, so may I just think first of all, if they can partner with media organizations like yours, and like okay, even if it's 5 minutes jingle every day, you know, I think most people these days carry small phone that has a radio. You know, partner with some of these media first, because when it comes to awareness and advocacy, you know, we always put media at first because they amplify the voices even to some communities that you think they will not hear those things. I think media number one. Then the maintenance cost. We go to some malls and you see their toilet clean. So how are they doing it? Do they have 2 eggs? They don't have 2 eggs now. You know, they pay people to actually do this. So government need to start some of this. Everybody cannot be in the office doing government work. Some people can also be employed and say these are your responsibilities, and they should be, their supervisors should ensure they check. If you have cleaners that are going to be maintaining some of these public toilets, there should be a supervisor to also check, you know, if they're actually doing it. Not when they go in the morning, they'll just clean, they'll just go. Then the following day you see them, you know, and they should ensure they are being paid to do their job. And their supervisor is also monitoring them to ensure the toilets are clean. So we need, you know, one thing in Nigeria, we don't monitor. We just build an abandon. But by the time we have a monetary system where if people are employed to do this job, they should do it. If you are paying them to do this job, they should do it. And also the people too, you know, it should be a continuous thing. You know, you can do word for word. We can do the word for word or house to house campaign. That, you know, we can do that. Let's do the word during your minutes. You just talk about, you know, let's keep this environment clean. We did a field work recently, and we just for a particular thing, and somebody came to me and said I should tell the person that is speaking that the beneficiaries for that project, they are not using the toilet designated for them. They are going behind and we're using a church, and they are going behind the church. So we had to like pause and you don't tell them that this is where if you don't know where it is, always that's why doing any event, always ask the organizers where is the restroom. Do you understand? So it's a whole lot of work for everyone. Apart from, we cannot depend on the National Sanitation Agency. They can only, they'll tell you that they are doing their own bit, their own part. So the media, to me, I always say media are our major voices.
So you throw it back to us.
Yes, we throw it back to you people. So you just do your own online, offline, and wherever. Why we do our every meetings we hold. You know, any small gathering. You know, let's try and just. I think that's one thing we should start talking about. We talk about everything, but we actually talk about this issue. Because do you understand? So we need to start bringing smaller conversation, because or else we just keep talking, and the people with no action. Do you understand? So let's make that action by always any meetings we have. When was the last time you visited the public state to ensure it's clean? When you see something, you say something. It shouldn't be about security and all that. So when you see things like the state, what is wrong is wrong. What is bad is bad.
You know, I think you've answered my last question anyways, but again, just to expand on it a little bit, tomorrow is the World Toilet Day. You know, let's have you pass a message to Nigerians about the World Toilet Day. What do you need to do to ensure that we all maintain the personal hygiene, a good hygiene, both for our toilet and of course our personal lives as it is? Your message to the people.
So my message to everyone, Nigeria is our own. Whether we like it or not, whether Nigeria is clean or not, it's our home and all our responsibility. So we need to ensure, first of all, we have access to clean toilets. We need to ensure good infrastructure. When we say access to clean toilets, you don't have to be in a place and you have to walk 5 kilometers before you use the toilet. And we need to ensure, it's all our responsibility to keep the environment clean, to keep the toilet clean. And it's all our responsibility to ensure when things are bad in terms of the toilet and wash facility we use, we need to always ensure they are clean and all that. And we also need to call the government attention when we see any sewage that is broken, you know, sometimes, and even sometimes when you see some of these people that dispose some of this sewage, you know, how they even handle their equipment sometimes is even poor, you know. So we need a lot of sensitization, we need a lot of advocacy as regards toilet. Tomorrow is World Toilet Day, and we already, like, most people don't really know that we have a day set aside, you know, to talk about issues that has to do with sanitation. And when we talk about sanitation, people always think it's just to clean your environment and all that. No, it has to do with proper hygiene. You know, we've all said a lot, so please let's join our hands together and make Nigeria great. It's my collective responsibility and your responsibility at all. When you see what is bad, take action. Don't see somebody using pin by the side of the road and you just say and you ignore. No, call the person, tell them, make them know that what they are doing in a polite way. You know, sometimes you don't know how to approach people. You know, let's approach people. Everybody's angry, so let's not let that get to us. So let's approach people in a polite manner and say, well, you can just actually find a place nearby where they have the toilet and use. And when we use toilet, let's ensure it's clean. And let's also be sure before we use any toilet that there's water in that facility. If there's no water, let's look for how we can get water. Let's not just use and leave. So please, let's keep Nigeria, because Nigeria is our own. We don't have like any other home. So it's up to us to keep it clean and have that maintenance culture, not just for ourselves, for our personal hygiene as well.
Okay.
All right, thank you so much, Khadijat SM. And Naku, for your time with us this morning. We appreciate you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for your time.
Yeah. Now I'm tempted to say to you, hey, go and check your toilet. Is it clean? If it's not, clean it now.
Clean it now.
You know, because we care about you. You know, that's the thing. Please go and clean it. And as much as possible, you've heard it from our guests. We don't need to say too much anymore. Just ensure that you're paying attention to what matters in your life. But of course, this we are going to call it a wrap on the program this morning. Martha?
We have said literally everything. You guys, you don't know how the matter of toilets actually really trouble me. Because, I mean, it boils down to our hygiene. Yeah. It says a lot about who we are. Yeah. It says a lot about our discipline. So it's very important that we maintain our toilets, proper hygiene. Do not defecate on the roads, please. Do not pee on the roads. By all means, look for a restaurant, look for a hotel. Just look for somewhere. I'm sure that they would understand that, you know, these emergencies happen from time to time, and they'll be able to accommodate you there. Also, facilities must try their best as possible to provide water. It's very essential.
Oh, yes.
Provide water so that when people go to these toilets, some of them don't actually intend to leave the toilets like that, but they are in a foreign environment. You know, they use the toilet and then they discover that there's no water. Please try to ensure that the basics, as basic as water, is available in your toilets.
All right, that being said, we'll be in your houses very soon, just to ensure that you've done what we've asked you to do. All right, so we are coming to knock on your doors. Well, do remember that you can follow us across all social media pages, across all platforms at Rapid TV, and you can rewatch every episode in our official YouTube platform at Official Rapid TV. That's on YouTube. And anywhere you are in the world, you can always watch us live using our website, www.arabianradiotv.com. My name is Victor. Okay.
My name is Martha. Did I skip for a bit?
Oh, yes, you just did.
My name is Martha Alu, and we will see you tomorrow.
We'll see you tomorrow.